Hello everyone, welcome to this Challenge Course Pro Tips Minute where we're going to be talking about 5, count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to doing a proper hazard assessment for your workplace safety program. And that starts right now. Whew, man, it's hot today. Hey, if you haven't checked out the rest of the workplace safety video series, the playlist is linked, so check that out. So what's a hazard assessment? Very simply, it's a physical and mental walkthrough of all of the aspects of our business and asking the question, where are the potential hazards to employee health and safety, and what do we need to do to address those hazards? Now, for those of us who are experienced professionals in the aerial adventure industry, it's really easy to assume that we're on top of all of these hazards. After all, we go about our work safely in the air every day, right? And we're typically attuned to hazards maybe more than other industries are. However, that may be true, and yet it's soberingly easy to become complacent and comfortable and simply miss something that a thorough hazard assessment can reveal. So how do we go about doing one? Today we're going to look quickly at 5 steps that if we move our company through those, we'll have a really good handle on the hazard that exists within our organization. And the first place we're going to start is we're going to use existing systems and records to begin identifying those hazards even before we go out onto the property to start looking. We can do things like review workers' comp claims. Was someone injured using a tool or a piece of equipment? And review the circumstances of that injury and determine what hazards were involved and what we might be able to do about that. Another great source of information is reviewing any incident or near-miss forms that involve staff and looking to see if there's a pattern of things like staff taking themselves off the life safety system at height at a particular spot in the course, and examining that part of the course and think through why this keeps happening in this spot. Another great piece of information is to take note of things like recurring illnesses or repeat injuries. Do staff keep getting poison ivy? If so, where is it coming from? Do they keep having a cut on their hands in the same spot? What's going on the course, or what hazard is there that's causing these minor injuries? Also, get staff input regarding their impression of potential hazards and pay special attention to things that are mentioned by multiple people. Number 2, we want to create a checklist of every area within the company that employees are involved in. You want to look at the course, you want to look at course life safety systems, the grounds, the stairs, slip, trip, and fall hazards, as well as flora and fauna, any place there might be bees or again, poison ivy or things like that. All the areas of the facilities, the gear room, the break room, the lobby, outbuildings, maintenance and work area, and transportation, things like vans, UTVs, tools, tool storage. All of these things, we need to look, do these tools have proper guards on them? All of those sorts of things. We look at all things electrical, as well as fire hazards and chemicals of all kinds. And when you're finished making your detailed list, we're ready for step number 3, which is to physically and methodically inspect every aspect of your workplace based on your list. Now be sure to involve key employees, company leadership, and maybe a helpful third party, such as a colleague or a professional consultant. Now OSHA offers a free consultation service, which I detail in one of the other videos, and it's also linked. Now, one helpful option to consider is to combine your hazard assessment with the periodic program review the aerial adventure standards require of operators. Invite a responsible and knowledgeable colleague from the industry to assist you, and then you can return the favor. Now, you want to move slowly and intentionally through each area of your list, as well as any areas that come to mind while you're making your path through. You want to take photos and make notes of the hazards you encounter and write down those potential mitigations. Now, the fourth thing we want to do is think about the hazards that are involved in emergencies and non-typical or infrequent tasks. Repair and maintenance on the course, on facilities, on vehicles, tools, equipment, all of those sorts of things are things to pay attention to. Course repair is a big one because you could actually be doing work that alter the normal life safety systems, making them non-viable. If you're switching out blade cables, we have to have some kind of definitive way to mitigate that hazard so we have an effective life safety connection for our workers. We also want to think about seasonal tasks like mowing or snow removal and the related tools and equipment and hazards that go along with those jobs. We also want to think about weather emergencies, and really the list goes on. Just think through those things that are not normal in your processes and develop a list. Now, the fifth thing we're going to do is prioritize any high-risk hazards that pose immediate danger, and we're going to decide on a short-term mitigation while the long-term permanent solution can be worked out and implemented. There you go, hazard assessment in 5 easy steps. Now for a detailed checklist and a deep dive into the things to consider when doing your hazard assessment, check out the Hazard Identification and Assessment resource from OSHA that's linked in the description. And once you have your hazard assessment done, you have all the data that you need to begin developing or expanding your workplace safety program. Now keep an eye out for our next segment, which we will be focusing on training and documentation. Until then, I'm Don, and I'll see you next time.